Today, we're checking out Amazon's latest app called AMP, which allows you to create your own radio show and curate music, talk about anything you want, and just have listeners call in. It's currently in beta mode, so we decided to hop on it and give it a try.
There's been a lot of cool artists signed on already to make their own radio shows, such as
Nicki Minaj, Lil Yachty, and even the famous podcaster Guy Raz, who hosts How I Built This.
And with that, let's dive right in. So when you first open up the app, you'll see all of the creators who are currently live. So all of the different shows, you can see here different on-air. And so each show has a title and a little description, as well as different tags. And so you can see how many people are watching and how many people have followed that creator so far. And after you actually get through all of the on-air creators, you'll start to see some of the scheduled ones, because you can actually schedule shows on AMP. So let's dive into some of the scheduling and how to create a show. And once you hit create a show, you can type in some details, show title, and it should be something creative and fun and something that describes the type of show that you'll be doing. You could even do just podcasts on here if you wanted to. One limitation right now is that in order to play music, you need to have at least one listener.
A good way to do it is to just start chatting. And once people discover your show and click onto it and you see someone's tuning in, you can start playing your playlist or even get song recommendations from your listeners, which is what we've decided to do with Taco Tunes, because Ben and I have a very wide variety and range of music tastes and interests, and we're always down to explore and find more new music. So we thought, let's do Taco Tunes. We'll talk about any fun, lifestyle sort of content. And then when someone tunes in, we ask them to dial in and call in and provide a song suggestion or recommendation. And that way we get to play their favorite song and we get to learn more types of music.
So we've titled our broadcast, our show, Taco Tunes, and now we can add some topics. So these are sort of like tags, and people can search by these tags to find shows that match these. And so you can see there's a few different categories of tags: music, life and culture, entertainment, and sports. And then within those are the actual topics that you can select. And so currently you can select up to 3 topics per show. And you can also provide some show details to give your listeners a little bit more context about what sorts of things you're going to be doing on your show. So you might say, oh, this is purely a podcast, but we do take listeners, we do take callers. You can chat with us about whatever you want.
Vibe with us. We play your song requests. And then you can schedule for later.
That's right. And so here's the schedule for later tab. If you wanted to do that, you can choose a date and time. And then listeners will be able to see your upcoming shows if they've followed you or sometimes in the main feed. And now let's check out one of the current hosts that is live on AMP.
Right here we have Mirror Gazer playing the Golden Hour dance music. So we're going to tune in right now.
And so when you tune in, this is what you'll see. Currently, this creator has some music playing. And so here we're viewing a creator's profile as we listen to the music that they have on for us. You can see some of their bio, how many followers they have, who they're following, as well as their on-air current show and their upcoming show, which is a great way to keep track of when they're going to be live next. We tried hosting our own radio show a little while ago, and we actually got a couple listeners, and one of the developers of AMP actually helped on too.
That was super cool because we didn't realize that he actually created the call-in feature for the app, because we were just complimenting it. We're like, this is so cool. I feel like Ryan Seacrest. And
he called in.
He called in and he was like, oh, I'm actually the one who suggested the call-in feature for the app. So that was cool to hear an employee's perspective. If you're on the app now, you might even get some exclusive interaction with the Amazon team, who is still looking to iterate and improve the app while it's in beta mode.
Right. But from our experiences, it performs very smoothly. We haven't encountered any bugs yet, and it works really well. The call-in feature is very easy to use. You can enable it or disable it for your shows, and then once people request to call in, you can add them to the show.
However, the app is great, but I think there's always areas for growth and improvement, and one thing is the song selection. So while you're curating your playlist, it's not necessarily like TikTok or Spotify where they'll have recommendations and suggestions based off of keywords. If you type in, pop or like a certain type of like genre or vibe or playlist. You know, on Spotify, there's different playlists for different moods. With AMP right now, you have to know what you want. You know, when you go into that search bar, you have to be like, I want to listen to Dua Lipa right now. Exact song, or like Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber.
One other thing that could be improved with the app is currently when people call in to talk on your show with you, when you tap on their profiles, you can't actually follow them or view their profile just by tapping on their called in image. And so this is difficult because you might be talking with someone who also has their own radio
and
show.
You vibe with them and you want to connect and build community, but you have to wait until your show is over to give them that follow and stay connected. So in a lot of the press releases and news articles, they are saying that AMP is a Clubhouse competitor. And I actually dabbled in Clubhouse for quite a bit when it came out during quarantine. Clubhouse has all these star-studded names across entertainment, technology, business, right? Like all different types of very significant and well-known names. Whereas right now, AMP, it's more low-key. I think it's because it hasn't had a lot of press, I would say. Like, I think there's just a few press releases here or there, but like on social media, it's not like when Clubhouse came out. AMP has Nicki Minaj and all these stars, and I'm excited to see them create their shows. And I think AMP has a lot of potential because it has that music element to it. With Clubhouse, you just talk, right? You like loop people in and you talk, and I mean, you pull people up to the stage, you can chat and all of that, which is similar in AMP with the call-in feature. But I like how AMP is branded as a radio show because you can call in and it really mimics that radio segment and vibe. And we had a lot of fun testing it out for our first show because, you know, we could just kind of kick back and relax and chat. And
Right. And so what would you rate AMP after our experience with it so far?
Yeah, I would say 10 out of 10. I had a great time. It's a really fun UI. It was fun to curate different songs and especially just talk to the listeners who dialed in. And I think there's a lot of potential. Once it goes public, you should test it out now while it's still in beta and get a taste of it for yourself. And we have a way for you to join.
In order to test out AMP right now, since it's in beta stage, you'll need an access code. And we've got some access codes for you. All you need to do is email amp@tacosatmy.place. And we'll email you back with an access code so you can try out AMP yourself and see what you think.
And ride the sound waves with us.